Hi, peace. It's Andy, the Universal RN again. And today we're going to do some stretching. Now, if you saw my first video, you know that I suffer from fibromyalgia and I have for a couple of years. I had to kind of change my routine because I used to work out quite a bit and I had to modify a lot of what I did to make it tolerable for me, to be quite honest. Like I said, I still work out a lot. That's not an issue. I actually worked out a long time today at the gym. But I learned to do stretching, which I always knew it was really important. But now that I have a chronic pain issue, it's become even more important. The other thing this video is to kind of tell you guys is I finally realized I'm going to have chronic pain the rest of my life. And I told you in the beginning it took me a couple years to mentally grapple with that and have a pity party and, feel sorry for myself and why me and all that kind of crap. And then I just woke up one day and said, hey, here's the deal. I'm going to have pain whether I work out or I don't work out. The problem is for me, or not a problem really, the good thing is for me, working out helps me so much mentally and emotionally that it's way worth the effort to continue to do it. So for those of you who are out there having, chronic pain, you have arthritis, you have osteoarthritis, you're like me, you have fibromyalgia, whatever your chronic condition is, this is an easy stretching video. I do this every time I work out, faithfully, and on days I don't work out, because it does seem to alleviate pain. Of course, after you work out, it's always good to stretch, so you get the lactic acid released in your body and stuff. That builds up, makes those muscles sore. But I'm just going to kind of show you, I'm going to have several stretching videos. This is going to be kind of a basic one for people who are very out of shape, very overweight and feel like they can't do anything, have chronic pain issues. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very overweight and I have chronic pain issues, and I still manage to work out 5 or 6 days a week, and I manage to stretch every day. So no excuses. Remember, if you can't do things exactly like I'm doing, just modify it. Do the best you can. So the first thing to tell you is stretching is an unbelievably good resource to your body. It does marvelous things. It's very underrated. It's not talked about enough by exercise gurus and all that. They talk about stretching after working out, but they don't talk about stretching as an exercise in of itself. Particularly when you have pain. A lot of pain is from, how you're cold and you literally hold yourself like this so long that your back hurts. Well, some pain is just from not moving muscles, not moving tendons, not moving things in your body that need to be moved because you're in pain all the time. And stretching helps relieve that. It won't make you better. It won't cure whatever your problem is, but it actually helps relieve some pain. Kind of takes the edge off, really difficult pain, and it actually, I don't want to say get you in good shape, but it gets you in better shape. I mean, it's really good. Your muscles stretch, the muscle fibers tear a little bit, they repair themselves, a little bit of muscle builds. So it's all around good thing to be doing. But just like I said, modify what you need to do. I'm going to just do some basic stretches here, and you do the best you can, and we'll go from there. How to measure whether stretching is working for you or not. Another thing about stretching is it works pretty fast. You can stretch farther and farther and farther every time you stretch, so it's kind of motivating because you see results, pretty quick. Always when you stretch, do the first stretch, which is the reach to the sky, reach to the ground stretch, because that'll tell you at the end of your stretching if you had any change. So what I mean by this is this number where you literally reach as high as you can, you stretch your back. Don't go on your tippy toes. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to literally stretch your back. You reach as high as you can, then you reach down low and go down as far as you can. Now, I stretch a lot, so I can touch the floor pretty easily. I understand you can't. For people who cannot touch the floor, kind of do kind of mark where you're at right now. Let's say you can only go down to here. So touch where you're down. If you can only go down to your knees, touch your knees to remind you of how far you were stretching. If you can go down to the middle of your shins, touch the middle of your shins to remind you. Wherever you can stretch to, touch that area of your body to remind you, and you'll see what we're going to do at the end of this. So you stretch, do a nice stretch. The stretching is going to, at the end of all this, your goal is going to be to stretch at least a minute a stretch. Okay, we'll take it a little slower, less time today because we want to get through some stuff. So now, go ahead and get on the floor. I'll kind of turn sideways here. Go ahead and get on the floor. Okay? Now, going to do the same thing. Lay back, and do another big stretch. Stretch as far as you can. Stretch, 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 stretch. This is a stretch you should feel everywhere. You should feel it in your shoulders, your arms, your back. Sometimes you can feel it in your butt, your legs. And this time you can point your feet because that'll actually help stretch the front and the back of your legs. Nice long stretch. Remember, the goal is after all this is done is you want to do this for a minute of stretch. We're going to modify that a little bit today. Okay, now you're going to do a leg stretch, and you're literally, the easiest way for most people to do this who are not used to stretching is to bend the opposite leg of the leg they're going to stretch, because it's much harder to do this straight up than it is to do this straight up. So bend the left leg, reach your right arm up, put your right leg straight up, and try to go as far as you can. You know, if you can only go here, that's fine. If you can only go here, that's fine. Whatever you can do, just lift your leg up as high as you can. One cheat I'll tell you is if you in the beginning you have a hard time doing this stretch, go to Walmart and get those, I mean they're like $9 or whatever, those big thick, rubber bands, and literally put it behind your ankle and pull so you don't have to support your leg in the air like this. That way you can get a little better stretch, because some people can't even hold their leg up. I mean, they get up to here and their leg's either so heavy or so out of shape, lack of muscle, whatever, that their leg falls back down. So if you're one of those people, I'm telling you they're cheap. They're like $9, $10 or something for 3 nice size bands. So just get a band. Pull your leg up. Same thing. You want to do a minute stretch. And we're over a minute on this leg now. So put that leg back down. Same thing. Now your left arm is up. And you're bringing your left foot. Remember, however far you can stretch it is fine. You don't have to stretch yours as far as me. And I'm sure there's many people that can stretch further than me, and that's fine. But the whole point of this is to try to hold it a minute. You should be able to feel this stretch all the way down your leg, all the way down your thigh, all the way down your calf. You can feel it on the inside. Same thing, if you can't do it, get one of those bands so that you can pull and support your leg. Okay, so let's say the minute is up, or whatever time you're going to choose to do yours. This next stretch is really an all body stretch. You should feel just about everything on your body stretch during this. There's 2 ways to do this. There's the way I'm going to do this, and there's the modified way. The modified way, if you have particularly hip issues, because this is a terrific hip stretch you're going to do right now. If you can't do the way I'm going to do, the modified way is to put your legs together so your knees touch, and you're going to drop your legs to one side, but then you're going to rotate your other upper body to the opposite side like this. And you should feel a stretch in your arm, down your side, in your legs. This is a great, great full body stretch. This is the modified way. The way I do it, in a little bit more of an advanced way, is when you cross your legs. Cross your leg, and whatever foot's sticking up is the direction that your legs are going to fall. So if this is my foot here, then obviously I'm going to go this way. Same thing. You drop your legs, rotate your body the opposite way, and you try to hold this 30 to 60 seconds. This does spine, this does is hip, this does butt, this does legs, this is arms, this does chest, this does shoulders up in here. I mean, this is just a wonderful all-body stretch. And if you have arthritis, this may be tricky at first, but this will actually help with arthritis. Kind of loosen things up, pull things so they're not so tight and kind of gristly in there. So let's say we've done our 30 to 60 seconds. You bring your legs up, recross. Now this foot is up, so we're going to go that way, but then I'm going to turn this way. Same thing, 30 to 60 seconds, whatever you can do is fine. If you can't do this, please do the modified stretch. And if you can, while you're stretching, I know it's difficult, try to get rid of stuff from today. Don't be stretching thinking about, oh, I got to make that appointment. Oh, I forgot that project. Oh, I got to make a phone call. Oh, whatever. Make this your own time. This is me time. This is not everybody else in the world. This is you time. Make this you time. Just kind of lose your focus and concentrate on the stretch itself and make that the only thing you're recognizing at the moment. It's just the stretch itself. Okay, so we've done our 30 to 60 seconds. All right, so get up. If you're somebody that has a hard time, I'm going to show you this trick. If sitting up is difficult for you, take one of your legs, clasp your hand under it, and literally you're going to jack yourself up with the weight of your leg. So you do this, and then you're up, okay? All right. Next one. This one's very difficult for many people, and I understand that. However, this is another one. If you have arthritis, you have fibromyalgia, you have chronic pain issues, it's a terrific stretch. It takes a while to master. Do what you can. When I first started this, I looked like I had no idea what I was doing, and I couldn't do it hardly at all because my hips were giving me such problems. But you'll see that's over now. But we've all seen this one, bringing your feet together and putting them in. Now, some people can lay their legs on the floor. Even when I was thin, I couldn't do that. Even in my thin years, I could not lay my legs on the floor. I don't know why. Some of us have shorter ligaments that hook things together. You know, we've got these bones, but the inside is hooked together not only by the skeletal system, but by tendons and ligaments. Some of us just have shorter ligaments than other people and tendons. So we can't do things like other people. You know, you maybe look at this going and your legs went boom and you're on the ground and that's great. I can't do that. But I can hold this stretch a long time. You know right away where you feel this stretch, don't you? Right here. Right on the outside of the thighs, the hips. This is a great, great stretch for releasing. It's called a releasing stretch. Because all that tightness that's going on from muscles and tendons and stuff, it literally pulls them until they kind of let loose. And then they stay loose. That's the nice thing about stretching. Once you do it, and you continue to do it, it's a cumulative effect. It'll just keep getting better and easier and better, and you'll notice you can stretch more, and you can move easier when you're walking around. Okay, next one, just put one foot out. I don't care what it is, I'm going to put my left foot out. And then bring your right foot as far in as you can. I like to bring mine, touch my other thigh. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe yours is here. Whatever. There's no right or wrong. Whatever you can do. So you bring it in here, and then you're going to reach for that foot that's sticking out. So you want to reach over. This one you'll know right away. The whole outside of this leg. You can just, it's a huge, huge stretch. Excuse me. It also does the knee. You just want to hold your 30 to 60 seconds. Now, I will tell you honestly, I can go all the way down. But right now I'm having some reflux. And if I go down, it's going to get worse, so I'm not going to go down. I tend to honestly not count or look at a clock because I'm so used to doing this kind of stuff. I'm pretty good at timing in my head now. All right, so you're putting that one out. You're putting this one in. Same thing. Reaching for that other leg. Feel that stretch all on the outside of your thigh and your hip. Remember, don't hold your breath. You know, you'll notice through this whole thing, I've been breathing a little bit heavily because honestly, I just came from the gym. So, I had a very long workout, so I'm a little pooped, but you have to breathe. A lot of people, when they exercise or they stretch or whatever, they tend to hold their breath, which is the worst thing you can do. Because right now, when you stretch, you're using huge muscle groups, not just little ones. You're using the huge, the gluteus maximus, all the big thigh muscles. They require oxygen. Even though you don't feel like you're exercising right now, you're actually manipulating your muscle fibers in these areas that you're stretching, and so they need oxygen to do that. So make sure that when you're stretching, you're taking a nice deep breath in, you're letting it out, you're not holding, because people do this, which is terrible. That's terrible. It sets you back when you do that. So make sure you're just breathing either naturally or you're trying to take just a little bit deeper breaths while you're doing this. Okay, next stretch. We've all seen this one too. Feet out, right? And you're going to just lean for your toes. Try to grab your toes. This one you'll feel right here. Every stretch we're doing today does good. It may seem minuscule and, oh, I see those people at the gyms or whatever do way more. I understand that. I can do way more myself. The problem is, this video I want for people who are beginners, who, have chronic pain, who are quite overweight, and so everything's difficult. This is what this video is intended for, is that target audience. And you're not trying to be like your neighbor or the girl at the gym or whatever. You're trying to be you. You're trying to be the best you. You're not trying to be the best somebody else. Now this stretch itself, the eventual thing you're wanting to do with this stretch is get to the point where you have stretched out enough that you can literally put your arms on the floor like this. Now if you can't do that, that's fine. If your arms are here, that's fine. If your arms are here, that's fine. I don't care. Just try to go down as far as you can. This stretch, same thing, but it not only does this, that's the other thing. Focus on the feelings you feel while you're stretching. Don't just go, oh gosh, right here, that's all. Really quiet your mind and think, what all do I feel being stretched? Because this stretch actually does your back, does the outside of your hip right here, does the outside of your leg right here. There's more going on than just the inner thigh, but the inner thigh tends to be the area that you feel it first. So just notice. Okay, so now the longer I stay down, I can start feeling it in here. Okay, so that's the basic big muscle stretches. Now we're going to just do a couple arm things because these areas tend to lose support, and as you start losing muscle up here, you start to sag. Like, when you walk, everything's kind of down. The problem with that is that itself, the sagging of shoulders and the lack of muscle up in this area causes people a tremendous amount of upper back pain and neck pain. So you want to make sure, even though the lower body's the bigger thing as far as arthritis and stuff go, you want to make sure you do these last few stretches to kind of alleviate things that are going up in your upper neck. So you don't have to sit like I'm sitting. I mean, this is just my natural sitting. Take your right arm, sit up nice and straight, and then try to touch your left shoulder. If you can get here, that's fine. Get here, that's fine. Get here, that's fine. I don't care. But that's my dog trying to get in. Try to touch your left shoulder, but you're trying to keep straight. Don't do this. That's cheating, and that doesn't do the stretch. This does the stretch, and you'll notice, do that for me. Lean forward, you'll notice the stretch kind of stops in both your arm and your back. But when you sit back up, the stretch is back there. 30 to 60 seconds if you can. Up, down, other arm, up. Remember, sit up straight, don't bend over. This stretch, if you notice, you can feel in your arm, you can feel in your upper, your middle, your lower back. It's so basic and simple. The whole point you're working on is trying to touch this shoulder. I actually try to touch my shoulder blade. That's where I go. Do your 30 to 60 seconds, whatever it is you can do. Okay. We've all seen this one too. It looks so simple, but if you pay attention to the stretch while you're doing it, you'll see what it's doing. You see people do this? They put an arm across their chest, they grab it, and then they pull it further. This not only does your arm, this does your upper back. Does your lower neck area. Remember to breathe, breathe. Okay. Other one, cross, grab the elbow, push. My hand behind me, I'm not trying to reach for anything particular. This whole stretch this is the hand that's the important thing, because this is the hand that's pushing and causing more of a stretch. So you want to push that as far as you can. "30 to 60 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. See my cat running around like a crazy person. I've decided to not try to make these videos without my animals in it, because this is my life. My animals are always around, jumping on me, jumping on everything. So you might as well just get used to them being part of the action. Okay, last thing you're going to do, big hug. It's not, "Oh, congratulations, I've done such a good job." This is also a stretch, but people don't realize it. But do it and you'll understand what I'm saying. Either way, either arm, just give yourself a big hug and reach back as far as you can on your back. If you can only do this, that's fine. This, that's fine. But you're trying to reach as far on your back as you can get. This is a great stretch for the upper back. Also stretches the arms as you can feel right now. Cats are weird, aren't they? This is my son's cat, Peanut Butter, just so you know. 30 to 60 seconds. Now the problem is, based on where your arms are laying, the stretch is different. So when you're done with your 30 to 60 seconds, you want to reverse. You want to put this arm on top now, do a hug, because it stretches your arms differently, how they're being held. So you want to make sure you kind of equalize both sides. Are you breathing? "30, 60 seconds. All right. Okay, now this is where you kind of find out what this actually did, if it did anything for you. Go ahead and stand back up. Okay. Same thing. Tall. And then go over as far as you can. And most people will see that they can go down farther the second time than before they stretched. Because you have literally, by doing the stretching routine, you've literally elongated all the muscle fibers in your body and literally made them longer. Because you made them longer, when you go over, they'll go longer with you. So they'll allow you to go a little bit further over. So it's kind of motivating, because usually right away you see some change from the beginning to the end. Do this a couple times a week, 3 times a week, whatever. It should help a little bit with pain. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm heavy. I'm in chronic pain all the time. You can't let that stop you from trying to make the best of your body as you can make it. So keep stretching. Keep watching my videos. Thanks for everybody's support so far. And I'll see you at the next video. All right. Bye.